Joining us today on MSUEagles.com is Lacey Goldwire. Lacey is one of the new assistant women's basketball coaches here at Morehead State. We announced her hiring about a month ago and finally now catching up with her in person. I know it's been a whirlwind for you, Lacey, getting here to Morehead State, moving, everything that has to go with the personal communication, notifying family and friends, and then really jumping right into an important job as the Eagles prepare for the 2012-13 season. You come to Morehead State from Oklahoma State. You were there 4 years, 2 as a student assistant, 2 as a graduate assistant. We'll get into kind of how your role changed on an unfortunate note last season. But when you look back at the positive things from that experience, 80 wins in 4 years, you guys won a WNIT championship last season. What are some of the things from the Oklahoma State experience that'll stick with you for many years to come?
You know, I have to pay full credit to our staff, first of all, just because they're so hardworking. I learned tons from them. They really prepared me for what I'm, about to endure now and how my job will go here at Morehead State. We had an incredible staff. Like I said, we all worked together really well. We were always really excited and had lots of energy, and I just think that synergy really worked well with the girls, and it carried over to the floor, and it got them really going every day. I'm really excited to take some of the things that I've learned there and apply them to Morehead State. Of course, they are 2 totally different programs, and I understand that, but there are some things that really worked there, and like you said, 80 wins. That's a lot for 4 seasons, and I'm just really excited to, carry those things over and get the girls excited about some new things, and then, of course, I'll learn lots and lots from them, and just carry some good things over. The girls at Oklahoma State are amazing girls. They have really just become a family, and they work really well together. I think on a positive note there, they recruited really well, just as far as good people, not only good players. You'll never see them on the front page of a newspaper. You'll always see them in the sports page. So they're all really good people. I'm really excited to have learned lots from them, but at the same time, I'm here now and I'm looking forward to the future. So.
Last season, tragedy struck in November. We talked before going on camera here just about that situation a little bit. I know a lot of people talk about that with a heavy heart. There was a plane crash. Your head coach and one of the assistant coaches unfortunately passed in the plane crash back in November at the beginning of the basketball season. I guess my question for you would be, I know your role changed quite a bit. Something like that you can't even fathom or think about, but you had to deal with that both on a personal level and then trying to help the program move forward from a professional standpoint. If you could just briefly touch on that and how your role kind of changed over the course of the year.
Well, like you said before, I started out as the graduate assistant, and I had many, we call them undercover duties, just because they go without being seen, and a lot of people don't even know, what you do, and they're just kind of like, oh, the girl that sits at that spot on the bench. And so my duties did really double after we lost our 2 coaches. Personally, we just try to keep busy and keep everybody's mind off of, the tragedy that did happen. We had to deal with it our own ways. There were a lot of different feelings and actions towards those things. We had to go to different memorials and things like that every day. So every day was just a new day. We just had to take it that day, one day at a time. And as far as my role on the staff, I started recruiting and getting into a lot of coaching on the floor and just recruiting and just playing a bigger part. Not really necessarily a lot of different duties, but just playing a bigger part in our program. And I think that really helped to keep things the same. It wasn't one of those things that we wanted to let the girls know that there was a big dip or a big change in our program. We just wanted to keep everything stable. And like I said, just move day to day. And I really think that we did a good job with that. I think that we maintained that energy and maintained that sense of family, and kept everyone's spirits up as much as possible, and just really concentrated on getting through the season. And I think we did a great job with that. Winning the NIT, only 2 people finish on a win, and we were one of those 2 people. So.
I know the expectation at the highest level of college athletics in the Big 12 is to go to the NCAA tournament and make a deep run, but talk about that WNIT experience, and like you said, one of 2 teams to end the season with a win. You guys obviously were playing your best basketball at the end of the season, but just talk about that journey if you would, and kind of finishing strong.
Well, whenever we were going into the Big 12 tournament, there were a couple of things that needed to happen, and we lost a game that we weren't supposed to lose, and we were just really excited about that game, and then we ended up losing, so it put us out of the NCAA tournament. But we made a good run in the NIT. We finished strong. We played each game, and I believe I believe so that we won 10 points or so every game. So it was a really good run. We did really well throughout the whole thing, and then I had to go to the Final Four at the end. I missed the last NIT game. I watched it on TV at a little pub downtown in Denver, and I just watched it on the big screen. And as soon as we won, everybody's just jumping up in Gallagher. Gallagher was packed. We usually average about 2,000, 3,000 people, and there was almost 7,000 people in Gallagher that day. So everybody there was sending me videos and taking pictures and helping me get the atmosphere from Denver. So I watched it on TV, and when we won, I just started crying, emotions, but I was just really proud of them and really excited for them. They're really a great team, and I was just excited that we got to cut down the net, in Gallagher after the year that we had. So
that's awesome. Lacey Goldwire is with us today on MSUEagles.com, one of the new assistant women's basketball coaches here at Morehead State. And Lacey, let us in on the story, how you got to Morehead State, your initial thoughts when you found out about this opportunity, your impressions of not only the women's basketball program, but the university as a whole, and maybe this part of Kentucky.
I got to know about the job through a friend at the University of Kentucky, and he told me there was an opportunity here. And of course, our women's program works really closely with the University of Kentucky. So we were really excited to hear that there was an opportunity here. I've never been to Kentucky before, so this is my first run. Getting to know everyone, it's very similar to Oklahoma, very friendly people. Everyone wants to help, especially in this part, Morehead. Specifically, everyone is very friendly. So when I heard about this job, I came down for a visit. Coach Hodges and Coach White were very, very hospitable to me and showed me around. And I just kind of fell in love with the small town feel and how, everyone was just very nice and friendly, like I said, and very welcoming. And it was nice to feel wanted to a school. They don't know me, they don't know what I'm capable of or how I coach or how I play. So it was very flattering to feel wanted immediately. So
you're still building your relationship with Tom Hodges, our head coach, and Eric White, our top assistant, but kind of your initial thoughts of those two men and what they bring to the table and some of the positive characteristics that they possess.
Well, like you said, the two men, so it's 2 against 1 right now. And there are a lot of things that I lose out on because I am the only girl. So we've just hired another young lady, and I cannot wait to get her on staff so that it can be a fair game. But on the same end, they always, they make special trips for me, or if I want to do this, if I want to eat there, then sometimes they let me win out. But I'm still getting used to them. Like you said, I'm getting used to the loudmouth gear that they both wear.
Different.
Yeah, a little different look from the sideline. And just as far as working with them in the offices, just duties, what I'll be responsible for, how we want to go about things, how they've gone about things in the past, and just kind of compromising, I guess, a little bit, our backgrounds and just getting used to each other, like you said.
You talk about your responsibilities with the program. I know it's still early. I know we're several months from the start of the college basketball season, but when it comes to recruiting and practice preparation and scouting and game planning and the million things that are in the job description or even the things that aren't, have you guys discussed in a specific manner the role that you'll have with the women's basketball program?
Well, it's not really been in a specific manner. Like you said earlier, there's just us two, or Coach Hodges and Coach White, and then myself. And then we just hired Nikki, who will be in shortly. And I've just kind of picked up the slack right where the other 2 coaches who left it, and just kind of stepped in and filled the gaps just so that we could get summer 1 running. I think whenever Nikki and we've hired another young man to do our director of operations job, whenever they get here, we'll discuss duties further. But right now it's just recruiting. I'm really diving hard into that, trying to get to know this eastern part of the states and get to know kids here. I really think it's important to build those relationships and just help them understand that Morehead is a great place. I've taken on the duties of academics, so I've kind of been chasing around our girls through campus and through these first a couple days of classes and, just checking on them, making sure they know I'm around and that I'm going to help them be academically successful. So right now, those are my two biggest duties, recruiting and academics. And I think as the summer goes on and we get into the fall, I'll really start working with the guards and handling those. I think our other young lady, Nikki, is going to handle the posts. So we've kind of split those duties and leave the guys to do the directing, and I'm just here to do whatever I need to do, and as I'm appointed. So
I know sometimes it's hard to do kind of a self-analysis and look at your own strengths and weaknesses. I don't like to call them weaknesses. Your college basketball coaching journey is just kind of beginning here. You've been affiliated with a really high-quality program in a couple different roles at Oklahoma State, and this being your first true full-time job. But as you kind of look in the mirror, look at your coaching portfolio to this point, what are some of the areas you really think that you do well in, and then what are some of the areas that you'd like to continue to develop?
I really like building the relationship with the players. I think that's one of the things. Once you get them here and they're signed, they're really looking for someone a little bit older and more mature to look up to. And I think I've done a really good job with that. Just connecting with them and helping them understand. I want to be on your side and not on your back all the time. So there's lots of things that I really want to develop as far as maybe more technical things. Little things in the office, but as far as building the relationship, keeping the good flow between communication, helping the girls graduate, being academically successful, and pushing them on the floor is a big deal. Like I said, I work a lot with the guards, and I worked closely with the guards at Oklahoma State, and I really like pushing them. I like the little shorties, so they're my girls. So I think those are some of my main strengths, and like I said, just little technical things in the office, just as far as, I'm not a technical savvy person, so if you give me a camera, I'm probably going to screw it up. You might only get half the clip, but I'm working on those, and I know that this is a great place to start and to start, building my career, like you said, and building my resume, and I'm just really excited to start doing that.
Lacey Goldwire is with us today on MSUEagles.com, announced about a month ago as one of the new assistant women's basketball coaches here, and we're finally getting a chance to catch up with her. Lacey, let's shift a little bit to your playing career. You were very accomplished. You're originally from Oklahoma. You played at East Central University. I believe you were on a lot of top 10 lists there for scoring and some other statistical categories, but what sticks out in your mind from your playing days, which wasn't that too far back?
I would have to just say the experience to get to play, and I played, like you said, a lot of minutes. So I was really excited to get to be on the floor all 4 years and play lots of minutes. And I always make a joke if I could have a penny for every game I played, just as far as pickup games. And my mom runs a gym in Oklahoma, so we were just up there all the time, just gym rats really. So I really miss those days, and I think that's kind of why I've stuck around college basketball, just because you never want to leave something that you've enjoyed so much. And East Central was a good place to play. Like I said, I got to play 40 minutes a night, ran up and down with some really good girls, and I still keep in contact with them. They were all very appreciative and excited about this job that I've gotten. I just, I've coached them since college. I was one of those people who's just, hey, get out here, let's do this, we have a curfew, and I kind of implemented those coaching type characteristics as I was playing. So I think this is really where I'm supposed to end up.
It'll be good to have somebody on the staff who can jump in practice drills and show them how it's really done.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen Coach Hodges and Coach White play, and while they're good friends and great coaches, I don't know if they should still be lacing up the sneakers and putting the ball in their hands.
I agree.
You come from a family pedigree that's really sports oriented. You've got a lot of family members, your parents and some siblings, I believe, and a cousin who all have a basketball background. If you could kind of expand on that a little bit.
Well, my sister just graduated from Oklahoma City University. They won the NAIA National Championship this last year, so she was very excited to do that, and she's going on to continue to be the graduate assistant at Missouri Western State with her former coach at Oklahoma City. She's very excited about that, moves in July. And then my dad played at the University of Oklahoma, and he was pretty successful. A lot of people around Norman still know him, and he still receives the alumni letter, so he's very proud of that. And then my mom played at Phillips University, which is a smaller school, and it was knocked down and later renamed Northern Oklahoma Junior College in Enid, which my sister attended before she was at Oklahoma City. So we've kind of tied in the family strings around Enid and Norman, and then like I said earlier, I was with Oklahoma State. So my battle with my dad and trying to get him to wear orange was a little bit rough, but sooner or later he fell in, and he's proud an Oklahoma State alumni dad, so he's excited about that. And like you said, my cousin is the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, that player development coach up there. So he played in the NBA for about 9 years, played overseas for a while, and now he's settled in Milwaukee coaching there.
That's great. You've talked about the NBA there, and you've referenced Oklahoma City multiple times. I know you're pretty excited about the Thunder moving on to the NBA Finals. That's got to be pretty cool for a lot of people back home.
Right. It's very exciting. Everyone in Oklahoma City is a huge supporter of the Thunder. I made a mistake by not bringing a Thunder shirt. I have a gray Thunder shirt, but nobody really knows it's a Thunder shirt. But I need to amp up my gear for Oklahoma City and just represent it down here in Kentucky, because everyone is a huge fan. They're all very excited about having the Thunder there. They're doing very well, and so it's just easy to support them. They make it really easy they have little things like Thunder Alley, and they have T-shirts in every store. I mean, you can buy a T-shirt anywhere from $50 to $5, so that they make it really easy just to walk around and support them. And I think Oklahoma City has really developed the downtown area to make it attractive to go down to the games and walk the canal and visit Bricktown and eat at those nice restaurants, just because everything is just so nice and the weather's beautiful, and the Thunder are winning. So how can you not support?
Well, Lacey, on behalf of everybody associated with Morehead State Athletics and all the Eagle fans in this part of Kentucky, we congratulate you on the new job. We're excited about the opportunity to work with you, and we'll be checking in with you and the other women's basketball coaches as we get a little closer to the season. So thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Matt.
That's Lacey Goldwire, an assistant women's basketball coach at Morehead State. And we'll have more on MSUEagles.com as we get ready for the 2012-2013 season.